Rocket League needs something more, a little bit of spice, something to make the game feel fresh again. And unfortunately, a new car just doesn't do it. So today we have 8 features that I believe Rocket League needs to add to their game. And please do comment your own suggestions as to what you think they should add. The trading community in Rocket League isn't as big as it once was, with the removal of crates and the addition of overpriced blueprints, but one thing that has remained consistent across: scammers. Every day someone is getting scammed out of their credits or their items, and I think the easiest way to stop this, and to also make items a bit more accessible to players, is to introduce a trading house or an auction house. Now, if you've ever played FIFA Ultimate Team, picture it like that. You have an item, you enter it into the auction house and you say minimum bid at 20 credits or a buy now price at 100 credits. That way, you know exactly what you are buying and what you're receiving. Every item is accessible to everyone. The rare items still stay rare as the community is able to determine price based on supply and demand, and people get to make a few videos going from 0 to 10,000 credits or something. These videos pop up all the time. I used to love watching these videos when I was going through Ultimate Team as a 15-year-old, and I'm sure that a different side of the community will come from this if introduced into the game. Now the other side of this is that credits start to circulate more instead of just going straight back to Psyonix when you use them to buy items in the game, so they may not like it as much, but hey, I think it'd be cool. Quickchats never get too much of an update, which is strange to me as they seem like they would be one of the easiest things to add to the game, and even though it doesn't add much, I think it would be fun if at the end of every season, the community gets to submit some Quickchat suggestions and then we all vote to have one added to the game. It's like how Minecraft does the adding a new mob from community vote feature. This way, you give the community a way to impact the game that they love, even if it is in the smallest way. Now, obviously, they will have to filter out some of the less PG phrases that come up, but seeing as it's only once a season, it might be nice to have some variety in there. On July 5th, 2017, Psyonix introduced standardized hitboxes in patch V1.35. But before then, each vehicle had its own unique properties. Every car had its own hitbox. They would all feel different and fit the vehicle model differently. If a new car was added to the game, it would have its own hitbox, instead of what we have now, where every new car is given one of 6 hitboxes, even if it doesn't properly line up. Which is why you end up with situations like this. Cars being too skinny for their hitbox, too long, too short, not tall enough. I think we're at a stage now where bringing back individual hitboxes for each of the cars would add enough of a change to the game to make it feel somewhat fresh again, without changing any of the core mechanics of the game that we've come to love. That way, every new car that Psyonix inevitably brings in will be unique, and we may find more cars actually being used in-game, which means that all the car-specific decals that you never even look at might get some use now that new cars are viable. I think Freeplay needs a big update, and I think one of the easiest ways to do this is to implement a party Freeplay. If you're in a party, you should have the option to Freeplay together. Something to do while you wait for a match, and can be used as a very simple 1v1 training with no stakes. It just seems so simple to me. It's not something you have to do every time, but just the option might be nice. The other Freeplay addition I would love to see being added is similar to how FIFA did their version of Freeplay. An AI keeper or defender that is always in net so you can train with a bit more purpose. I think this could be a really good way to spice up Freeplay because you get to test yourself a little more than you would with just an open net, and it forces lower ranked players to learn how to shoot with power and accuracy, which make you a much better player in these lower ranks. I think the same could go for custom training as well. Being able to add a keeper or a defender to the custom training pack would make it so much better for improving, but also it would add a lot more fun in general. Now, the next sections are just game modes that I think would be really good to introduce to the game to break up what we already have and to expand the game's casual player base, which is kind of crucial for a game to succeed long term. Now, I don't know if Bull Rush is a global game, but if you grew up in Australia or New Zealand like myself, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Bull Rush is basically one person is in, or a tagger, and then they start in the middle of the field. The rest of the players go from one goal to the other goal without being hit. If you get tagged, you join the tagging team. This goes on over and over until you have just one player remaining. It's a very simple game. We played it on stream the other day and it was a lot of fun seeing the different strategies and fakes people were pulling off. Oh. Obviously this could be done with no boost or no jumping, so it's not way too difficult, and you would need some sort of player lock system so you can focus in on someone, but I think it is a really chill game that already uses the core mechanics of Rocket League, but in a different way. This one should be an easy one to understand. Demolition Derby could very easily just be your car takes damage from hits, and after enough damage, you blow up and you're out. Last car standing wins. You could introduce different maps to this game mode. A team variant, you can make it so cars take realistic damage based on where they're hit. For example, a hit to the side of your car could cause your wheels to buckle a little bit and make you slightly swerve as you go. It's just a simple game that I think everyone has thought about before when thinking of new Rocket League game modes. Now, I know this one has been done by Lethemir already, and I think it'd just be such a solid idea. And they were halfway there when the knockout game mode came out. Big ring, if you get knocked out of the ring, you lose. Very simple, perfect game for communities to just play or in-house matches. Could be a good casual game mode. Something that just spices the game up a bit and doesn't really rely on scoring a goal. Purely movement-based game modes just aren't a thing in Rocket League, and I think they're really missing out. I've seen this game mode on games like Fall Guys and Crab Game. You're split into teams, there are a few flags, if you hit someone, you take the flag from them. The goal of the game is to hold onto the flag for as long as you can, which racks up points for your team. The team with the most points at the end of the round wins. Another very simple movement game that could have some fun maps and obstacles. You would probably limit either boosting or jumping here to make it fair, and it can be seen as a pretty user-friendly, beginner-friendly game mode. This game mode, or a very stereotypical capture the flag type of game mode, would just be a lot of fun to add to the game in my opinion, purely because, once again, it's one of those movement-based game modes that we are missing. Lastly, just adding the option to use workshop maps in-game so we can easily play them with friends would just be nice. Like, if you already can load up workshop maps yourself, and the game easily loads them, I don't see why there isn't an option to easily load them with a friend. I feel like Sonix is really falling behind on this one, as player-made game modes and maps can be absolutely massive for a game and can allow for a whole new community to be brought to life. You look at things like Fortnite Creative Mode and Overwatch, and games that just let their community develop what they want to develop. You give them the tools and they start building their entire game for you. I don't know, this just seems like a no-brainer to me, but then this leads to the whole, well, these things need Unreal Engine 5 conversation. And with the Rocket League scene never getting any updates or even confirmation that Unreal Engine 5 is actually happening, I guess for now we just pray that the future holds more than just new cars and toothed wheels.